a little late. Mary's working a little late, so she might not get here till around 8:30 or so. But with that being said, though, we're going to rock with you. We're going to keep it going. There's tons to talk about tonight. Some of these things are going to be, the same old, if you will, right, Spoony? A little regurgitation, if you will.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Other than that, Spoony, man, tell the people how you doing, man.
I'm doing all right, man. A little under the weather, but I'm here. We getting close to the off season, with the free agency where we want to be at. So definitely getting more excited.
Awesome. Yeah, man. Today, it's one time in a while where I'm like, man, I'm kind of, a little gassed. I was a little gassed today. I was like, man, I think I'm just gonna fall back a little bit and chill. And man, it was first time in a while. I was like, all right, let me just jerk it into neutral, chill out for a little bit. I know we have a show going on tonight. We got TJ Todd in the building to say, yo. No, we ain't going to free Dak, man. No, we're not going to free Dak. No. It's hashtag pay Dak. Trust in Russ. TJ, wants to get you up out of here on that. Don't start that foolishness. Don't you do it. Yeah, Chris, man. Hey, man, it's grind time, baby. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot to be talked about and a lot of stuff going on. I saw the mothership. The mothership, we talked about this a little bit on the show a lot, is the old mothership likes to push stuff out there on certain players and get the nation talking. And obviously they put the mailbag out today about Gallup and the trade or whatever. Now, obviously we have talked about the Gallup situation some here, and we're going to dive into that since that was the hot button for them tonight, man. But outside of that, Spoonie, you dropped that nice little video, man. For those that are not in the Stargate group on Facebook, go check out the video that Spoonie dropped from the old Anchorman with all these different sections of Cowboys fans that are arguing back and forth and whatnot about certain things. Those things are pretty good. Oh, look at this, boy! The free Dak game, boy. Let's come on, let's get off of that. But Spoonie, I've made the rounds. I did a midday show the other day, yesterday. Also backdoored on our guy in the building, Cowboys Fans Only. I was sitting with him and Space Cowboy. We chopped it up a little bit. Come on, man. Let's. I'll give you first take at it. Here's what we've heard, right? Somebody from the Cowboys organization talked to Jane one day, and it was, hey, respect, quote unquote. Second highest guy behind Mahomes, right? Then day 2 came around and Jane's like, well, Dak's in the building. He's working out, right? And France, along with Mr. Stephen Jones, have had conversations. They've been fruitful, if you will. So what do you think, man? What do you got?
I mean, listen, it's encouraging that he's in the building every day working out. And, of course, anything from Miss Jane Slater is, I follow her. She's very accurate with almost all her reports, unlike some others. But she's great in what she does. And, it just hearing that Dak Prescott is in the building every day working out, Todd Francis agent and Stephen Jones basically are having a great conversation back and forth, better than the past. To me, that it feels good. It definitely feels good. Listen, we have up to next Tuesday's the 9th, I believe, and we'll see what happens. Deadline makes deals.
Yeah, I kind of talked about this. Joshua Parker was tuned in with us. Give him a shout out. He does work overnights. Boy, me and that boy Tuck from a Cowboys Fans Only. Boy, we went 6 hours. We are not going 6 hours tonight. I'm telling you right now, hour, maybe hour and a half, depending on the flow. But we're not doing those 6 hours tonight. Again, man, it's tis the season, right? Tis the season of what's going on. Todd checking in saying he's not, and that's just not how this thing works. I hear you with he's not 40 million. I understand how you feel, but facts don't care about your feelings. And when it comes to what he's done in this league and what people in this league believe him to be, remember, everyone was talking crazy about him getting 30 to 35 million last year, ended up on the tag for 32. The Colts were out here saying they were ready to pay him 40 million. So there's people within the league, no matter how we feel outside of the league, that believe that Dak is worth the $40 million. Now, and the first thing that I thought about when they talked about he wants to be the second highest paid guy. Okay, so here's what I thought. Well, Who's number 2? Right? Well,
Right.
number 2 is that guy down in Houston wanting to trade right now,
Right.
Deshaun Watson, right? 39. All right. So we got 39 on one end. We got 45 on the other end. So at the end of the day, it's somewhere in between. I always believed this deal, even before all this kind of came out, in my head was somewhere between 40 and 42 million. Now, if we think this comment's going to change it and be between 42 and 44, okay, who knows? We'll see where it lands. But I always felt it was going to be more than Deshaun, but less than Mahomes. So, 41.5, 42, somewhere in that ballpark is kind of where I expected this deal to be anyways. And I don't think that's really changed. I just think that's sticker shock value from some people out here that don't believe that he's a $40 million quarterback, and that's fine. Everyone has, hey, you have your beliefs and whatever. And again, it's not about your value, it's what somebody's is willing to pay you. And remember, just a couple of years ago, Jimmy G got paid almost $30 million a year after 6 games.
Right, 6 games.
Now it's dirt cheap. So even if that gets $42 million, and we said this whenever Zeke got signed, 2 years from now, a year from now, it's going to look like peanuts, man.
And see, here's another thing, BJ. I don't know. I don't know where folks get this from. What a quarterback is not worth. At the end of the day, none is Pat Mahomes really worth 45? No, Pat Mahomes is worth the highest pay. You're always going according to the market. It's not about a price. It's about where would you put him at? Was Carson Wentz worth 32 million when he got paid? No. At the end of the day, at the time, Russell Wilson was the highest paid. Goff was right behind him. Then it was Carson Wentz. Right now, when it all boils down to everybody's getting, the NFL draft, when it comes to trade value, there's a chart. They have a trade value chart. There's no value chart for free agency. Any player, I don't care if you're the best or the worst player in the NFL, you are allowed to ask for the market value. Start up high and then meet where you want to meet at. They are allowed to do that. Dak Prescott right now, is he allowed to ask for 45? Of course he is. Why not? There's no rule against that. Now, wherever they settle at, whether it's right at Mahomes or 44, 43, 42, maybe 40. That's
maybe
where
40.
it's at. I listen, it's like, and don't get me wrong, I respect everybody's comment. I'm speaking in generally speaking, I'm not calling nobody out, but it's just mind-boggling how Cowboy Nation is getting this crazy with he's not worth 43. Oh, how about 42? At the end of the day, if you want to be mad about something, don't be mad about Dak Prescott asking for what you want to ask. Be mad at management, because this is the second time this happened. When DeMarcus Lawrence, or third time, excuse me, right. The last time was D-Law.
Right.
And when D-Law was up for it, you could have gave him 17. Nope. You want to prove it again? What happened? He went to 20, right? So what happened? He had to bite in. Dak Prescott could have been got paid. 2 years ago. They decided to wait. Right. And that, if anything, be mad at Stephen Jones and the management. Don't be mad at Dak. Dak's doing his part. His part is to come back and rehab, get ready to play some football, and be the best that he can be. Now, as far as the most embarrassing thing is that when you got other fan bases who are screaming and yelling for Cowboys to release Dak and let him go, we're the ones penny pinching. Listen, Here's my thing, y'all. Y'all want Dak to get paid because there's a lot of free agents going to be out there next week. And you, hopefully, in the grace of God, we want Stephen Jones to say, you know what? This is my team. Let me go out there and get these guys in, because if Dak is tagged, you're not getting anything. Right. Don't even look at free agency if that happens. So you want Dak to get signed. And guess what? It's not going to hurt. Another thing, it's poison when y'all listening to these damn networks who are just talking out the ass. It's mind-boggling. They're not even saying factual things. They just come out and say
they're going to throw some stuff at the wall and see if it sticks and get the clicks. But it's a key point you brought up, and that's one of the biggest things I was talking about during my little short run yesterday, doing a little midday action for the people, is common sense, man. It's just, to me, everything's common sense. And understand this, like, okay, if that gets signed to a contract that is 40, 41, 42, 43 million, whatever, well, his tag this year, his cost this year on the deal isn't going to be 40 million. You're probably going to give him somewhere around 35, maybe 30 to 35, depending on how they structure the deal, right? Because the money per year is not going to hit that till 2 or 3 years into this thing, right? It won't be that hard 37. Hey, remember this. The Cowboys paid Dak Prescott 31.1 million on the tag last year, right? It's the highest they ever paid for 1 year. If they do it again this year, 37.1, it's the highest ever. Then the following tag is going to be 54 million. They're not going to do that. Again, and this is what I kind of tell people why I really do believe this deal's going to get done before the 9th is Stephen Jones has done this before and he folds. He just does. He did it with Zeke. He folded. He did it with Law. He folded. And, you don't want to do that with your, franchise quarterback, and no other team really does this, but we're to the point now where he's folded. His back's against the wall because if he wants to get busy in free agency without having to do a lot of stuff to contracts, which we know he likes to do a little bit with contracts, but he doesn't want to go hog wild, right? Because you got until March 17th to be under. Well, right now, we're $25 million underneath the cap. If you tag Dak, well, you got to clear immediately some money before March 17th to get Dak's tag underneath that cap and be available to go out here. It's just to reset some of your own guys for getting you dipping into free agency, right? Because it's been reported they want Alden Smith back. There might be some want in Cheeto, so we got to wait and see what happens there. Sean Lee, what's he going to do? What's that going to cost? So there's some priority free agents that they want to bring back off this team. And again, last year we wasn't hearing about France being in the building with Stephen and having these talks prior to March 9th. So, again, it goes back to the way that I look at it, the way I see it. It's just common sense. And at this point, what makes more sense? Tagging Dak and being held hostage or, and try to get the deal done before July 15th or just go ahead and get the deal done and be ready to approach free agency the way that needs to be held. And to me, I just think common sense is going to win out on this. I think here's the thing, and we were talking about this right before we came on, Spoonie, and we talked about, and Jay Tuck's in the building as well, we talked about this as well. If you don't have a plan, or if you want to get rid of Dak, right, what's the plan? And you want to trade him. Well, here's the thing, guys. You can't just trade a free agent. If you want to get rid of Dak, then you put him on not the exclusive, but the non-exclusive tag. Let him go get a deal, and then you can match the deal or you can get the compensation. And a lot of these, the thing that drives us crazy is Cowboys fans who just want to get rid of Dak don't really formulate these kind of things to understand what's logical and how you can actually do things. But again, I think common sense says we've heard both sides say they want to be in the building. They want this thing to be long-term. The one thing that this might open up when we talk about the $42 million and whatnot, because now this gives the Cowboys a little bit of a chip. Hey, okay, we'll go up here and pay you that much money, but Patrick Mahomes gave that 10 years. We want some years here and kind of do some things. So again, I think what we're looking at is 39.45. There's $6 million within that space to negotiate, right? And then it's going to be the years. But I think both sides, and the other thing that I don't think a lot of people talk about when it comes to Todd France is, he had 3 guys on the tag. We know he got Ryan Tannehill paid last year. However, he was transitioning away from a company to his own company. It's very important for France, logically, to get this deal done. Right now, Dak Prescott is his biggest guy. He's not looking to get him tagged again. He wants to show, hey, I get these deals done so he can get more clients. So both sides are should be very motivated to get this deal done before March 9th. Common sense tells me, hence why I think it's going to happen. Yeah,
listen, and again, if you got fans out here who don't want Dak Prescott to have a good plan to move on from him, I'm not against that. As long as you got a good plan that makes sense. I'm gonna read this, y'all. I'm not calling nobody. I'm gonna read this trade. Somebody came out and said, tag Dak, trade Dak and Zeke to the Jets for draft pick, and then get first round, sign Zach Wilson, and Surtain the first round. Then in the second round, draft JOK from Notre Dame, and then in the third round, Najee Harris. Now, see, here's the thing. What got me is, bro, do you understand that that's a Madden deal? And on top of that, those players you mentioned all should be drafted in the first round between Joke, Najee Harris from Alabama. I mean, so how are you going to get all that? I mean, hey, here's another thing. You telling me the Jets are going to give up 2 first-round picks for Dak Prescott? So he's not worth $40 million, but he's worth multiple draft picks. That makes no sense. And that's my problem. If you're going to come out and say, well, let's let Dak walk, sign a veteran, draft a quarterback, maybe trade Lance, maybe go move Justin Fields, I can respect that. Right. I can definitely respect that. I may not agree with it, but I can respect that. But when you come out with these slanderous trades, like it's John Madden football game, That's the problem. And my issue is
and then too, it's like, okay, you don't value Dak. You think Dak doesn't pass your eye test and he's not good, but you're gonna go out and get 2 first-round picks for him.
Yeah, I don't get that. This is why I just be like, listen, I wasn't lying. When I saw that comment, I turned off. I logged out of social media.
Little House on the Prairie time.
I started watching Little House on the Prairie. And if anybody's familiar with Little House on the Prairie, Jack London,
shout out to London, R.I.P. We got a question. We got a good question here. Says, if one of us was the GM, what is the first thing you're building for the Cowboys to get in the playoffs and go deep at least? For me, it's the front seven. That's what I'll be looking at. I need to be a big fatty in the middle. We need a linebacker as well. I love the move that's been talked about already. That as soon as Dan Quinn got hired, I was like, hey, immediately move Jalen, cut the field in half, move Jalen to Sam at that underline, then give him and just shorten his responsibilities. That's the plan in-house, which opens up maybe like the Joker for us to go get in this draft. But for me, front seven is where I'm at. I need a defensive tackle. I need a linebacker. That's where I'm at, Jerome. Spoony, what's the first thing you want to do?
First thing, I'm gonna go with sign Dak Prescott. Once you sign Dak Prescott,
true.
Once you sign Dak Prescott, you go get that one technique defensive tackle you need, maybe a Tomlinson, maybe a Poona Ford if they're available. Hey, my man from Denver's available. All right, get a safety. You got if Simmons not tagged, Marcus May. I'm hearing having issues with the New York Jets front office. He may be available. Marcus Williams. The Saints are over $61 million cap space. I don't think they're gonna be able to tag Marcus Williams. That's my number one guy after Simmons if he's not available. Or if you want to go on the low route, which I know that's Stephen Jones' thing, go get a Malik Hooker. But if you guys will get a Malik Hooker, make sure you draft your safety just in case. And that's pretty much it. Of course, once you have the front seven and that safety that can pair with Donovan Wilson, everything will take care of itself.
Hey, real quick, Mr. Rum's in the building, Cowboys fan talk. Hey, man, I'll tell you what. Man, check your. Hold on for a second. Let me see if you're free. I'm gonna shoot you a DM real quick. Go ahead, Spoon. I didn't mean to cut you off there. Go right ahead.
Nah, man, pretty much like once you make those moves right there, you're pretty much set, and that's just the route that you want to go. End of the day, like I said, there's a lot of work for this team to do, and hopefully Stephen Jones basically makes all of Cowboy Nation smile this offseason, and we need that. We definitely need that, but everything starts with Dak Prescott.
Yeah, man. I mean, no doubt. You got to have the quarterback. You got to get there. Again, common sense tells me, it's going to get done before the 9th. I'm going to stick with that. Both sides are motivated. As I discussed before, man, it's just it's tiresome and at times. And the one thing that I want to look at and see at the end of the day is, look, Cowboys Nation, we all have our difference of opinions, right? That's fine. But come with something logical. Don't give me, here's probably the most logical thing. If you want to move from Dak Prescott, here's probably the most logical thing that'll happen. You're going to sign a veteran quarterback, Mitchell Trubisky. I'll just use him. And then either you're going to sit it in and hope a quarterback falls to you as a rookie, or you go trade up the board and go get a guy, which none of those things are going to help you get to the Super Bowl because, as everyone keeps telling the Spoon, we cannot draft offense 10. We got to rebuild this defense. Don't worry about no Pitts. Don't worry about no offensive tackle. You got to go get defense at 10 or else.
and my issue is this. Listen, when it comes to the draft time, everybody has a different philosophy. Everybody has ways they want to do the draft. For me, I always say, listen, the way the Cowboys been doing the past year, which I would say is solid, is that they always address every hole during free agency. That way, during the draft, they don't have to go out there and reach. They get the BPA. But in the first round, and we should learn this from last year's draft with CeeDee Lamb. If somebody falls to you, you don't look at the position. Look at the value of the player and look at him, what he could do for this team. So again, BJ, you started the train last season with CeeDee Lamb. We all got on board. We got probably the best wide receiver in last year's draft, in our opinion, right? Okay, this year you started the Kyle Pitts train. Now again, but people saying Kyle Pitts, no, he's a tight end. He is a top 5 player overall, regardless of position. Some got it at number 2 behind Trevor Lawrence, which is which is a wow. Some people got him at 3. But these are experts putting him up there. And now when we come out and say, well, if he falls at number 10, we can use a special talent at tight end, because at the end of the day, let's keep it 100. What has Blake Jarwin done for us lately? Not his fault between the injury and Witten taking up most of his snaps because of Jason Garrett lying to Cowboy Nation about 25% of the snap situation. That hurt him. Okay, last season, down to the shows. Now, before shows played, everybody in Cowboy Nation, the non-shows, garbage, X, Y, and Z. All of a sudden now, he plays solid. BJ Nick, you looked at his numbers. It was the same numbers compared to Jason Witten. Nothing crazy, right? So we look at that Kyle Pitts. We see the highlights. We see what people are saying. Hey, he tossed the crap out of Alabama, which Surtain's over there. And Alabama is a very well-known team. Why not him? Here are the answers. Tight end. He's a tight end. Or we need defense. Okay, well, give me a defensive play at number 10 that's going to make a difference on his defense.
And I hear everybody say safety. I'm with you. Hey, if there was a safety there, lockdown safety at 10, sign me up. Sign me up. But you're not going to get that guy 10. You're going to get him in. If you want a safety, second round's where you're going to get him at. Whether we're talking about Richie Grant, somebody of that ilk, Trayvon, obviously from TCU, he's climbed up the board and he's rumored to be on the Cowboys' radar as well. It's just one of those things. And again, look, I'm not anti-defense here by any stretch of the imagination. But if I can get a guy that's like Kyle Pitts at 10, and I'm looking around the board here, I'm like, yeah, that's what I should do. It just makes sense. But let's get into pivot a little bit more draft talk here in a minute. I do want to bring up that was we covered the Diggs situation. I'm sure we'll cover it again before we get up before March 9th. Right. But today the old mothership they went ahead took another player and threw him on out there and said, oh, time to trade Mr. Gallup. Time to trade Mr. Gallup. Oh, hold on, we got Cowboys fans talk in the building. Hang on. Let's get on. Let me get Mr. Rome in here real quick. Mr. Rome, what's going on, sir?
What's good with you?
Nothing much, man. I see you've been training. I see you've been training. We're going to get in here. We're getting to this Gallup talk real quick, man. And look, I'm going to get you before we get up out of here. I'll let you run your deck scenario down too. But as I was saying, man, the mothership came out today with their infamous mailbag. They had the mailbag not too long ago. Hey, what would she do with Dak? Right? They like taking these players and throwing them underneath the bus. I'm waiting for the DallasCowboys.com trade back to talk about, hey, should we get a new GM? Somehow I feel we're never going to see the Dallas Cowboys have a mailbag talking about a new GM. Neither here nor there. But trade Gallup. Let me get your thoughts, guys. Do y'all want to move on from Gallup? We know he's in the last year of his deal. More than likely, he's not going to get re-signed, right? That's what we're going to feel. Mr. Rome, are you trading Gallup or are you riding with Gallup this year?
If we get your boy, yeah.
If we get Pitts, okay. If we get
Pitts, I said a long time ago, if we can get Pitts or Chase or any of those, I'll take, I know people think Waddle's not going to recover. He's going to be just fine. I'll take those superstar receivers. And it's not that I don't have faith in it's business up.
Right.
And especially, I already got a target. I would love to trade Gallup for Gilmore. Because I know they're going to move off Gilmore too.
Mm-hmm. They're moving long in the tooth.
That's a Patriot special. But Gilmore is not he's not dead in the water. He might not be locked down immediately, but he'd be instantly the best corner on our team.
Gotcha.
So Gilmore, because he's an experienced defender. And we're not going to pay Gallup anyway. It's not because of his talent. Just I think the business of it, we're probably not going to pay him. You can't pay all three, and you're definitely going to pay CD.
Right. Yeah, you drafted him. You put the 88 on him. You know what time it is. Yeah, the 88's getting paid.
Gallup, unfortunately, is just going to be kind of holding the, the short end of the stick. So if you're going to get rid of him, be smart about it.
Right.
Get Gilmore and take one of these because a weapon's falling to us.
Yeah, there's going to be a weapon on the board for sure. I believe that as well.
You can't get a defender that experience in the draft that's going to be that ready to help. There's people that are great eventually, but that ready to help? You add Gilmore to that defense right now?
Helps a lot. Yeah, it helps a lot. Spoonie,
That's just my thoughts.
No,
Yep,
I
Spody.
agree. I definitely
Gallup.
agree. At number 10, if a guy like Pitts falls to us and we take him, or let's just say they shock all of us, and you see Jamar Chase there that falls to us or whatever, and he decided to take that. Listen, end of the day, Gallup now is up for trade, and you could definitely trade Gallup for a good defensive piece. Any, whether it's going to the Jets for Q Williams,
The Jets hate us, though.
Oh, they do. They definitely do. or like Rome just said, go to the Patriots and see what's up with Stephon Gilmore because they want to get rid of him.
Like Gilmore. I think they just that's a Bill special. Move off a year early.
Right. And see, and the both things that with the trade scenario of Gallup for Gilmore, what they both have in common is they both want a new deal. So when it comes to Gilmore, he will get paid some, and when it comes to Gallup, he'll definitely get his pay from the Patriots. And everything works out, and we already addressed his replacement. And here's another thing: to have a weapon on a rookie deal, when you got CeeDee Lamb, when you got, let's say, a Pitts or Jamar Chase or whoever they take at 10 offensively, these guys right there are studs. You don't got to worry about them for another 4 years. By that time, they might have gotten away from Amari Cooper. You're going to be fine for years. So you're also saving a whole lot of money. But you're making the defense, using Gallup to make the defense better. So
I think you're right. I think the receiver we would take would eventually move into the 2 role. Like it's musical chairs, basically.
Right.
It's not that Amari won't be. I think they'll re him up, but I don't think they'll re him up like nowhere near what he just got.
Right, of course.
He's going to be willing to come to the table and be reasonable, or he's going to move on and go get his money. That'll be fine. It kind of depends on our success.
Right.
We have a lot of success. Then once you get a lot of success, people go for their money.
Right.
So I agree with you.
For me, I've said it before. I'll say it again. I'm not interested in trading Gallup unless it's something that blows me away. I'm trying to load up for a 1-year run is where I'm at. I want to load this thing up as much as I can to go out here and go attack and get 6. And with that, being said, he's just, I don't want to take that aspect away. Even if we get a Pitts, hey, man, load it up. Let's just, good luck and stop us. And the back door to that is I'm going to get a 3rd-round pick if I let him walk anyways. And I think that's the biggest thing for me. You're going to get a 3rd-round comp pick for Gallup whenever he walks anyways. So it's got to be something. I don't want a 1-year win. I got you. Hang on. I don't want a 1-year rental. I don't want a, sure. Quentin Williams, sure. If Quentin Williams was something that was on the table, I mean, sure. I don't think that's going to be a possibility. I'd have to see what the compensation is for. I've had this argument before about a month ago, and I'm like, man, if I'm not getting a 2nd or 1st for Gallup, then why am I going to trade him? I'm going to get a 3rd anyways. Oh, yeah. You know what I'm saying? So it has to be something that's going to help this defense immediately, not like long term or, hey, what are we going to do with this guy? Oh, it has to be something immediately, and it has to be something that I'm like, okay, this defensive guy he can be a piece for me for 2 or 3 years. I'm not going to give up the youth of Gallup and what he could be in this league for a 1-year rental. Like I said, I could be talked into it, but I'm telling you now, for me, man, I want to load up. I want to load up. Because I know if I get over there to that championship game, that Super Bowl, I got a good idea of what weapons I'm going to go against, and I want to be able to match fire with fire. Look, let's air this thing out. Let's go score 50, 60. What do we got to do? I just don't want to be behind the 8 ball when it comes to Gallup.
You don't think Gilmore would be like one of those push your chips to the table type moves?
He's long in the tooth, man, and I don't think if you watch his tape last year, he's not the same player he has been. Could be a down year now. Could be a down year. But yeah, I mean, again, does he really? Is he going to be a press and turn kind of guy? I don't know. I haven't really looked at him and thought of him when I was looking at his tape. I was just looking how he played last year and stuff. I wasn't really thinking about him in this scheme. I would have to go back and watch him again and think about him in this scheme. But I'm like, why would I trade Gallup for him? If I'm going to do that, I mean, I can go get me a Patrick Peterson, or maybe I go get, Sherman. Thank you. Yeah, what's going on? The boy Sid sliding in here. What's going on, Sid?
What's up, fellas?
What's going on, Sid?
You trade Sid? Where you at with the Gallup, man? You trading Gallup? You keeping Gallup?
Listen, I'm on your train, Knicks. I don't see us trading. I don't see Dallas trading Gallup unless, like you said, we got to get somebody who's going to be long term for us. That's going to be worth it for us. Trading up Gallup for somebody who, like you said, who's going to last a year for us and then end up leaving, it's not going to benefiting us. So I wouldn't trade up Gallup right now. I think Gallup is one of the key components into our offense. So I would leave him exactly where he is.
Yeah, listen, to add on to this, I know 99.9% of us watched the championship game between the Bucs and Chiefs, right?
Yep.
they had a lot of great depth. And you see the Bucs, did they need Antonio Brown? No, they didn't. But is that depth that they had just to make sure somebody goes down is an easy replacement? You know what I'm saying? The chemistry doesn't lose, is not lost. That's the great benefit that we have. But the difference is that we don't have the same type of I guess GMs who was aggressive with it with the Bucs versus what we dealing with right now. You know what I'm saying? Well, you're gonna have guys available this offseason that can benefit, that can help this team get to where we need to get to. He has to be on board to want to improve this team that way.
They sign for. You can't make no decisions.
Right.
That's why I'm talking about, because it's domino. I can't waste my time with free agency talk. If they don't sign for it, lets me know what free agency gonna look like.
Yeah, exactly.
So let me ask you guys something. But honestly speaking, right now, if you look at our receiving core, who's our number one receiver? Do we have a number one receiver right now?
Yeah, it's Amari Cooper.
But did Cooper perform well this year? Has he performed well in the last 2 years?
Yeah,
1,100 yards. 1,100 yards with 4 different quarterbacks. I don't know what more you want from me.
No, I understand that, but I'm just saying. So you got Cooper. Who's our number 2? I would say Gallup. No.
It's CD, man.
I wouldn't put CD up. Not yet.
Here's the thing that Gallup does that the others don't. He gives you a different dimension that the other twos don't.
Yes.
And that's why he's running the 9 routes. He's the big body, go up, get it guy.
He's
not that CD can't go high, but I mean he just gives you a different dimension than the other two guys do.
And Gallup Gallup can't make those contorted catches. That catch is different.
The CD live, yeah. I know what catch you're talking about.
You know what? You want to know who I compared the trio that we have to? I'm gonna go back to 98, 99. The Minnesota Vikings, when they had Randy Moss, Jake Greer, and Chris Carter. Not saying that we have a Randy Moss here, but what I'm saying is that they all gave something to the table that made the team look so dynamic. This is what you have. Cooper, his route run is crazy. You have Gallup, who's a playmaker over the top. But that's
what I'm saying. I was watching the game. I was watching the Atlanta game last night. It was on TV.
Right.
That catch he had in the Atlanta game. Come on, he's Gallup. The thing I have to say about Gallup, yes, there's a few times that he drops balls, but I've also noticed that when he's needed, he performs.
But can I say about CD? CD got an element to his game that some of the other players don't. Remember that onside he returned for a touchdown?
Yeah.
Element of it that some of the other players don't got.
Yeah, no, I think that's the thing about it, and what I like about all three is I think they all three bring something to the table the others don't. Nobody runs the route. Nobody runs the routes like Amari Cooper does. Man, you can just go cut up clips and see what Cooper does to people. The snatcher of ankles is what I call him, the ankle collector, if you will. And then you got the explosion, like you were just talking about, Rome. When it comes to CeeDee Lamb, the contorting catches and different things of that he can do, especially running in the slot. He's a nightmare in the slot. And then you got that just that big body for them slants and over the top. And that's why I like the combination of all three. Now how can you keep them together long term? I don't. Maybe. But more than likely not. Right? More than likely not. But again, that's again why I'm saying. I'm just not going. Even if I had Pitts, man. Even if I had Pitts, you know what happens? If we had Pitts, we keep those three. Zeke might rush for $2,000. That's what might happen. Because good luck. Gallup, CD in the slot, Amari out here, and Pitts on the end. Pick your poison. You want to put 7, 8 in the box? Go for it. I dare you.
Because as you said, Pitts can go anywhere.
Right.
So when you draft Pitts, you can let go of Gallup. You don't want to.
I think, yeah.
Stop having,
go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Right?
Yeah, I mean, can he line up on the outside? He can. But I think people get caught up with that he did that. But if you go back and look at the tape, man, he plays on that. He plays traditional tight end a ton in Florida. Yeah, I mean, it's not that he can't do it. Sure, if you want him to go do that, if you're a team that is lacking wide receiver and tight end, sure, you can kick him on out there and he can help you, right? We saw Rob Gronkowski do it, right, over there in New England, right, and stuff. But I mean, again, he can be your traditional tight end as well. Just be right there and come off the line and go do what he has to do. I can give you highlights of that all day long, and that's where I'm at. I'm just like, man, if I do those three things, I got those three guys, and I got Pitts right there. I mean, sure. By all means, drop 7 into the box to stop Zeke and see what happens to you.
You only considering trading Gallup, it got to be a pretty monumental defensive piece. Not
it can't be no whole hum. It's got to be something.
I get it. I mean, look, I don't want to give him away neither. I don't want like a middle of the road linebacker like we showing up.
Yeah.
Listen, I just want the best chance to win and go to that championship. It's been too long. And again, you get a guy like Kyle Pitts, you're definitely going to be something big over there. With Dak Prescott, CeeDee Lamb, Amari Cooper, Zeke, the offensive line, hopefully healthy. We're going to have explosive offense. That's the main thing. And just you got a lot of fans out here who believes that you can't take Pitts, you got to get defensive play. But all right, give me somebody who's worth number 10 if available. And we look at Kyle Pitts, he's the third, he's either the second to the third, to the fourth, to the fifth best player in the NFL at the draft. So you can't pass that.
It's out. He's not falling, I don't think.
He may not.
The secret's out. But my point is, it ain't enough. If you playing musical chairs, it ain't enough chairs. They can't. If you know how people don't want nobody to follow us because we Dallas. Someone's going to follow us. It's too many people.
Well,
if they go
the numbers. The numbers.
But here's the thing, bro.
And of course, and look, if the right guy falls to us, then everyone that's the team trade down people, you got an opportunity to trade down them. But if the right guy,
3 or 4 quarterbacks, a couple receivers, a tackle, we either gonna get a tackle, a receiver, or the tight end. One of them falling to us.
And one of them's gonna fall. One's gonna listen. You're gonna automatically have 3 quarterbacks going
at least
in that top 7. That's 3 quarterbacks. You're gonna have maybe 1 to 2 offensive linemen, maybe 1 or 2. I know Penei Sewell's gone, but Slater's getting a hit, and my man from Vera from USC, he's getting the looks. Okay, then you're gonna look at maybe Mac Jones, maybe 4 quarterbacks. Mac Jones is definitely creeping up. Now, you're going to have teams like the Patriots and the Chicago Bears who, depending on what they do this offseason, they need quarterbacks bad. They need a quarterback that bad. They may want to move up in that round and get somebody. So somebody's going to fall back to us.
Lunatic. Thank you, lunatic. That's all I've been preaching.
Of course,
for over a month now. You can change that to wide receiver even if you want to throw a wide receiver in there. You can take an offensive guy at 10 and still have a very solid defensive draft because the bulk of these guys that are prospects on the defense are in rounds 2 through 4. Right. Well, guess what? And this is what I preached as well. We have 5 picks in rounds 2 through 4. I need them to get busy with those 2/3 and those 2/4, and let's go up the board to go get the defensive guys and turn those 5 picks into 3 solid defensive prospects that this team needs to go forward and help this defense.
Exactly.
They're gonna have a good. I think if they focus right, if they hold tight and don't trade up in those later rounds, they can still get great defensive talent.
Of course. Listen, the one position that we need the most, that one technique, the best one is in a second round. Okay, safety. There's no safeties worth number 10, right? Now, as far as
I do bet a safety goes in the first round, though.
Well, Holland. I think Holland or Morvig may go in the first round. One of those two. Or maybe Grant. It's going to be one out of the first.
If you want to throw a wide receiver in there, you can take somebody.
My bad.
Yeah, but my thing is that don't reach. You're picking that number 10. Now, if you feel like, okay, you know what? I want to drop back in the draft and get some more picks and build this. Fine, we can talk about that. We can do that. But end of the day, now, I'll give another one. The kid joke. Now they're saying that a lot of people have him on board to be a safety, more than a linebacker. So it's a lot of things going around about that. Now, would you want to take him at number 10 to play safety?
Don't do that.
Exactly.
I know. See, look. I think Joker's a weapon. I think Joker's a better. Remember Isaiah Simmons from last year from Clemson?
Right.
Well, he did the slot, he did linebacker, he did safety. I think Joker's a better version of Isaiah Simmons personally.
Right.
Look, I've already been on board, and my guy Norton just chimed in. We talked about this a bit earlier. I wouldn't hate the Joker, and I've said this before. I wouldn't hate the Joker at 10.
No.
I wouldn't hate Jeremiah going if we got him at 10 because I think he's a defensive weapon. I think I can put him in the slot. Cool. I can put him at linebacker in passing situations. Cool. Hey, don't want to go back here and play a little safety for me? Sure. Like, I don't think there's anything that he can't do. He's a defense. Now we don't like that because he don't fit a traditional spot. I do know that because that's whenever they passed on the Honey Badger. Like, well, he's not a scheme fit. So there's that when it comes to Joker.
We're going to go some form of offense.
You think?
If it ain't receiver or tight end, it's going to be a tackle. I'm on your train.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, now according to Jane Slater, Surtain's and look, it's smokescreen season now. It is smokescreen season, but the word is Surtain is definitely on the board right now for the Cowboys. But again, it's smokescreen season.
If they did Surtain, would you like lose it or would you just be like, all right?
I'm like, we got a corner. I mean, cool. You know, load up, let's go. You know, I will definitely if we bring back Cheeto, we go corner at 10.
What about Farley?
I don't know how I feel about that. I'm out on Farley. I'm Horn. JC Horn's my guy.
Horn look good.
JC Horn.
Yeah, Horn
JC Horn in this scheme is my guy. In this scheme. If we ran a different scheme, maybe I feel different. But Horn, I like Horn, man. I right now the three Horn and Surtain out of the three, Horn, Surtain, and then Farley. I'm just worried about Farley's back, man. I just am.
Yeah, I believe it's either this week or next week is the virtual scouting combine. So, you know, we're gonna know a lot more about these guys' injuries, how they feeling,
exactly.
Everything. So that's definitely gonna have an impact on how we think about these plays going forward. But listen, my thing is this: if a scenario is right there for us to take Surtain because who was taken ahead of him, hey, I'm cool with it. My thing is this. BPA at number 10. You're fortunate. You're gonna get a top 10 player. Not everybody. Now you're gonna have certain players in the top 9 not being a top 10 player. They're getting taken because of the competition behind them, like quarterbacks. Some of these quarterbacks are not top 10. They will be taken there because of the guys in the back. They know once they get past us, we're not gonna have a chance to get them. So get out of the way.
I think
I'll do that.
Taken. I think Lance, Wilson, Lawrence, and Fields are going in the so then that leaves six spots for skill players.
Right.
Yeah.
Somebody's gonna fall to us.
Just like CD Lamb fell to us last year, somebody's gonna follow us.
Somebody's gonna fall. It's the reach. It's the reach is gonna happen. Mac Jones, listen, I'm preaching. I'm praying for Mac Jones to blow up in the scouting combine. He's somebody that's creeping up. We're talking about going from the second round.
What scouting combine, sir?
The virtual.
Yeah,
next week.
Yeah, and look, and I think that's the big key here. And you know, in drafts past, we're going to see some weird picks, guys, because it's not your traditional everybody being in the building together. I think we're going to see some. I think we're going to see some out of the box picks this draft that we're like, oh, that happened. I think it's going to happen a lot. And I think the other thing too, when we're talking about these quarterbacks, is who's going to come up from outside the 10 to come get one of these quarterbacks? And I think that's something else that we'll have to keep an eye on. Go ahead, Rome.
No, I was saying, you guys think that Mac Jones would jump those other 4?
No, I don't.
Well, I mean, what flavor ice cream do you like? You know, I mean, I'll sit here and say no. But I mean, we watched Mr. Trubisky where he went, and we saw the Bears straight up one spot, and he only played one season, right? You know, so yeah, I mean, I would say no. You know, you saw Tua come from the program. We kind of saw whatever happened with him last year. Now you got the two wide receivers saying, "Oh, they would take." And look, and what else are they going to say? Oh, Jones over Tua all day is what they're telling these guys when they're getting the questions asked. But it's like, of course, they're all getting drafted. Of course, they're going to say that. Tua's already been drafted. That's their position. Like, I don't understand organizations asking those wide receivers, who did you like more? Did you like Tua or did you like Mac Jones? I was like, come on, of course you're going to say Jones. That's who they're playing with currently. He's trying to get drafted. But, I mean, again, it only takes one team to like you, though. You know, and he could jump somebody. I don't look. Trevor Lawrence is going number one. Let's be clear. Trevor Lawrence is going number one.
QB. Panthers need a QB. Denver needs a QB. And I don't want to talk about it, but I think Philly gonna take a QB.
Yeah, you know what? I was about to say that.
I keep
Philly's
saying
gonna take a QB.
I got a bet going on. I got a bet with that right now going on.
Philly's gonna take another QB. Watch.
They're gonna take a QB.
Yeah, I mean they've mentioned it already that they're not out, but again, it's smokescreen season, guys.
Listen, you know more or less once free agency hits and we see who with all these teams where they pick up, then it'll pretty much shape up how the draft's gonna go. But like I said, those quarterbacks being taken early is gonna have somebody drop right to us, and we're gonna be right on here live.
Got a question.
And we like, what are we gonna do?
What are we gonna do? Right.
There's 101 players on a free agency this year.
Right.
Nightmare scenario. I'm sorry.
No, I'm just saying that alone is insane. So there's going to be a lot of moves being made next week.
Right. And of course, we got to wait and see too. And look, does Deshaun Watson move to one of these quarterback needy teams? Does Russell Wilson end up?
Russell Wilson.
Because like I said, at the end of the day, these top tier quarterbacks don't move. Yeah. Okay. Look. Yeah. There was some quarterback movage. Sure. But again, like, man, Carson Wentz in Stafford and what you call it, man, they're not top tier quarterbacks, right? They're just not top tier quarterbacks. And I'm waiting to see one of these top tier guys if they actually move or not. But we do got a question here from Norton right now. We're in the question segment of the show. It says, so if we go tight end at 10, what do we do with Jarwin and Schultz? We keep them. You need 3 tight ends. You keep them. You don't re-sign Blake Bell. And when you're in your 2 tight end sets, boy, you got Jarwin and Pitts. Another, again, matchup nightmare no matter what package we want to go into. And we know Schultz is decent enough if there's an injury that he can step in and get the job done. I'm not moving on from either of them. If you want to talk about any of them, can I move Schultz for something? Okay, maybe I would do that. But outside of that, I'm definitely keeping Jarwin. And Schultz is, I like to keep him here. If you're moving, I'm not going to cry over spilled milk. Rome, if we take Pitts, are we keeping Jarwin and Schultz or you trying to move them?
I would look. Like you guys convinced me. You remember in the very beginning, I was team. We got Jarwin and Schultz. We don't need Pitts.
Mm-hmm.
But after taking heed to what you guys said, you can't overlook generational talent. You can't.
Right.
So unfortunately, this is pro sports. You got to put on your big boy pants, and one of them just go out to. This year, we keep them. But next year, it'll be a wrap. And it's
take it back.
Not personal. I was trying to defend him early, but after watching the tape, I'm like, all right, I can't lie to myself.
Right. But there's a lot of people out here that will lie to themselves. Die on the hill, though.
You got say we love D-Law, right? Right? We love D-Law. Let's just say this is a hypothetical scenario that's not happening. We love D-Law, but if this year Chase Young was in the draft and he fell to 10. You don't say, well, we already got D-Law. No, you take Chase Young too.
Right. Right. They have enough. Right.
Figure it out.
Real quick, I'll go around. Spoony, you take Pitts. What are you doing with Jarwin and Schultz? You keeping them?
The Buccaneers had Gronk, Cameron Bray, and my man
OJ Howard.
Did they even blink to make it great? No. More weapons. No. Why
Let's go. Let's go. And Sid, what are you doing? You moving along? Or what you going to do?
No, keep them like you. But the only thing I agree with you on is if we were to get rid of Schultz, I wouldn't cry. It wouldn't be a big loss. But keep them. We need those weapons. We need healthy guys out there. That's the thing.
Yeah, man. Yeah, you gotta have that. You gotta have that health. And look, we suffered that some last year, somewhat, right? We went through some things where we just depth helped us some, but we just didn't quite have enough depth.
We didn't exactly.
And I just saw Mendoza talk about the Vikes release Rudolph. Word is he's going to New England. I don't know how true that is. I heard that. I caught that word before we jumped on. Apparently, he's headed to New England. We'll wait and see on that. But yeah, man. Again, it's just you have to load up. Especially if you go ahead and give Dak this long-term deal, man. Hey, man, make you feel good, make you feel comfortable.
Let's get it, please. Give him his money.
That's it. That's it.
I just wanted to have domino to fall so I can focus on other stuff.
Yeah, man. I'm so tired.
I mean, the domino's going to fall one way or another come March 9th, right? And then we can pivot the conversation to, how they get underneath the cap, what they do, right? I'm sure Marty's contract's going to get touched, things like that, and then they'll get busy in free agency, however they do.
This nightmare scenario. Say they friends. Like we all know.
Can you not say that word? Don't say that word. Don't say it.
Go ahead, Ron.
Just don't say it.
And a quarterback falls to us.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not excited, but I'm just saying, you know how Jerry don't give it.
It's realistic. Roman's being realistic. If you tag him and you go to the NFL draft and a quarterback falls your way, that's gonna be something where if we take depending who it is.
Cowboys select Trey Lance and we all just
okay, but you guys know, you realize that gets tagged, we lose him next year. He's gone.
Oh no, he's gone.
That's not necessarily true.
You gotta come to terms. It's a wrap. We tag him. You just got go on, you rip the Band-Aid off.
But they're not going to. But that's not what they do. So I mean, again, just if they tag you, it doesn't necessarily mean nothing.
I mean, if they tag him, he has to play on the team.
Well, I'll tell you this. Put it out there. Just to put it out there. I am a Trey Lance fan. I think he's the second best quarterback in the draft behind Lawrence, in my opinion. That's just me. I'm not saying I would be excited if that was to happen, but if there was, like Rome said, rip the Band-Aid off and just blow it up, and then you got Trey Lance.
I mean, what we gonna do?
I think this kid's gonna be something at the right scheme. But like I said, hopefully it's not the case. I want to win. I think this team right now has a chance to go somewhere once you sign Dak. And with the offense we have, we could compete with the best in the league. Look at the schedule. We're playing the Chiefs and Buccaneers. I'm not gonna listen. We get a trade. Am I gonna be excited about that? No, but but I'm just saying, with Dak Prescott, we're going far. Everybody's healthy. We could go far.
Yeah.
Even Jones got to do his part. He got to do his part. Dak's doing his part. Steve Jones got to do his part.
75% of our games next year, we got the best quarterback on the field.
Yeah.
The best. Tom Brady, Patrick Mahomes. Who else? That you could even everyone. It's another one where you can have a.
I believe you're playing the Raiders.
Green Bay. Oh no, we play Green Bay, don't we?
Yeah, Green Bay, Aaron Rodgers.
Green Bay, yeah.
We already know how that is.
So the other 13.
Do we play Baltimore too? Did I see Baltimore?
No, we played Baltimore last year.
No.
It's
AFC West and NFC South.
Yeah.
And then there's a couple other teams.
What about the Eagles? You guys really counting out Hurts?
What about them? They got Hurts.
I don't know if they keeping Hurts.
Listen, here's the thing. I'm a Hurts fan, but here's the problem. You only play 4 games. And once you get blueprint on a player, everybody gets to see how he plays or whatever. And what happened? He struggled. Only completed 50% of his passes the last 3 games. Now,
yeah, but he had nobody to throw to really. Let's be realistic. Let's be realistic.
I fear Hurts way more than I fear Wentz.
No, but here's the thing, Sid. You have a player who's still learning how to play. He played real quarterback really for only 12 games in Oklahoma.
But he still looked good though.
12 games. It wasn't a full-time quarterback. With the Eagles, he played really quarterback. So my thing is inexperience with no offensive weapons for somebody to maximize talent.
That's right, Mark. We don't.
They're a problem. They are a problem.
What'd you say, Rome? Sorry, I didn't hear that.
When you look at Hurts, I'm talking about like the intangibles part. You don't see Dak?
I think at the end of the day, look, let me pivot here when it comes to they were going to trade one of the quarterbacks. They traded one. They're not trading both quarterbacks. Let's be clear. Hurts is going to be there now. Whether they decide to bring another quarterback in there to quote unquote compete, we'll have to wait and see. But there's no way they're going to get rid of Hurts, in my opinion. I think Hurts has done more than enough to show that he gets a chance to play this year. And again, you look at what he did in Bama. You look how he made the jump in Oklahoma, and how well he was able to play in Oklahoma. Far enough to get him drafted in the second round, which obviously maybe that's panned out for the Eagles because it looks like Carson Wentz is out of there, and there was problems with Carson Wentz this year. Whenever he did get to play, you did see the team rally around him. He did get a key win and whatnot. And he had some ups and downs. He was a rookie, right? And he was thrown in there, but look at the last game where they're playing against him. He gets pulled and you kind of see how he didn't like getting pulled and everything. So I think Hurts is their guy. Now, if they want to play with that and go draft a guy and do this competition thing, by all means, let's do that. But this ain't an Eagles show, so I don't want to talk about that shit no more. Okay. That's where I'm at. You know, I'm talking about these Cowboys. Man, keep shooting them questions, man. We got about another 5-10 minutes. We'll get some more questions off here. Now let's pivot up. Let's pivot away from the number 10 pick, and we're trading Gallup and the Dak situation for a minute. Let's pivot away from that.
Okay.
We've all been doing our research, right? We're building up these boards. We're talking about these different players. Second round, right? Second round. What are you looking at second round to get you excited of the possibility of being able to pick up? Safety position. What about you, Spoonie? What gets you excited?
Whew. If we don't get a safety in the free agency, a good safety, then safety will definitely be my thing. You know, I've been skimming for safety for years, so definitely safety.
Oh yeah, most definitely. Who do you want there, Ron?
Richie Grant.
Richie Grant. What about you, Sid? What gets you excited in the second round?
I'm with you on the safety, but I think we still need to work on our corners. Our corners are. Can we please do something about our corners?
But I think all the three I want gonna be gone by the time we pick.
Yeah,
yeah.
We'll be down to like Asante Samuel, and I ain't saying he not, but I wouldn't take him over Richie Grant, or I think Moorhead is gonna be gone too.
Yeah, you know.
But you know what? I don't know, because it depends who falls, right? Like, anyways,
Go ahead.
We'll see what's going to happen. I think there's going to be a lot of surprising moves this year, and I think a lot of people will be available even in the second round.
Well, I'll tell you that I play with Sid. If let's just say cornerback, Greg Newsome from Northwestern, big time sleeper, you know, and they like he's gonna rise up next week during the combine. You're gonna hear talks about him. That's a guy that we could definitely take. Or maybe Campbell from Georgia. You have guys, you know. Oh yeah, Aline. Oh, listen, he's coming up big.
Yeah.
Marvin Wilson.
We talking about my guys. Hold on, y'all gotta talk about your guys. Hold on, y'all gotta talk about your guys. Don't jump on my guys now.
No, but I'm just saying, DJ. There's enough defensive talent to address in the later rounds that you don't gotta take one number 10. This is what I'm you know.
Yeah, you know, for me, the second round gets me excited is O-line and D-line. That's what gets me excited in the second round, guys. You know, obviously, depending on what we do in the first round, I mean, that can obviously pivot things. We can talk about that. But man, again, as we're talking about my guy Am right there that we just brought up, another guy, Liam Etchenberg, the offensive tackle out of Notre Dame. You got to go watch his tape. And one of the things that I
who did you say, Nick? Sorry, what's his name?
Liam Etchenberg.
Okay.
Yeah, from Notre Dame.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things that I've preached continuously on this show and in the social media space, if you need an offensive lineman, go to Notre Dame and go grab you one. One of the things that Brian Kelly has done since he's been there is he's put offensive linemen in this league, and they don't falter. They have been tremendous. And if there was a Liam Etchenberg there sitting there in the second round, man, I'd be very hard pressed to say, okay, I cannot turn this card in. They'd be very hard pressed.
His whole career or something like that.
Yeah. I mean, man, just go turn on the tape, man. He's just another one of those guys, bro. I mean, Liam Etchenberg is just it's just a beast. But for me, the way I'm looking at the second round,
he's different.
You know, that line, man, that line might be where I want to go there in a second. For me, that gets me excited. Don't get me wrong. I mean, Richie Grant. I mean, here's my thing about Richie Grant. I'm not going to go on board and just say it now because I know everyone is in love with Richie Grant. You know, the fun thing about Richie Grant was this: I didn't hear shit about Richie Grant to the Senior Bowl. I didn't hear nothing about Richie Grant. All of a sudden, Richie Grant this and Richie Grant that, and I'm like, well, let me go turn the table and look at Richie Grant.
You weren't impressed?
You weren't impressed?
Nah,
he's got tape. I'm not saying that he's not okay. I'm not saying that he doesn't seem to be a very good football player. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is he not just Donovan Wilson?
And we need something different.
I mean, he's in the box a lot. He's blitzing a lot. Not that he doesn't play some single high from time to time. I'm not saying that he doesn't, but he does a lot. He does a lot when it comes to the same things that Donovan Wilson does. Now, hey, look, if we were just going to put two guys back there and have that mismatch, let them do. I mean, I'm not against that. But you know, I just keep hearing that we need that. No, I'm not. I'm watching the right tape, Mark. I've watched plenty of tape. He's not playing single high all the time. I can tell you other guys that are playing single high all the time. Again, he's in the box a lot. He puts his lot, but I like him though. But I'm just saying he's a lot of what Donovan Wilson is.
What's the safety?
So do what now?
What's the safety you gonna take though? I had to take one.
Man, I like Washington a ton. I know people ain't gonna like it because he's short, because he's like 5'8", 5'9". I think Washington's a land shark, man. Is what I think when it comes to Washington. I think he's a land shark, man. I love
Where's Washington out of? Where is he out of?
TCU. Him and Morrig. They both.
Hold on, Norton. I'm not saying we were just talking about the second round. I'm not even saying they were getting Pitts in the first round. I'm just saying, whoa, I care about defense. Well, y'all gonna get off of me on that. I'm just saying. Go ahead.
Do you think that we'd take like Coxon? I'm sorry to jump the next round. Like Coxon, if he fought to the third.
I think he's in play. I think he'd be in play.
Because with them moving, you think they'd put him in the middle? Somebody got to go in that middle.
Somebody's got to go there. I mean, I think you give him an opportunity. Yeah, I think you give him an opportunity. Yeah, I do. I think you give him an opportunity and see.
That's the type of a plan. They either going to go a veteran. They bringing in some linebacker depth, whether it's draft or free agency.
Yeah, and Stephen Gibson actually hit as we're talking about it. Says linebacker in the second round. Okay, let's pivot the switch. Let's talk about linebacker in the second round. Who gets you excited about linebacker in the second round? Are we in Browning? Are we in Browning territory?
Browning, Ohio State is definitely a especially my man from Iowa if he gets drafted. Yeah, I would love the Browning.
Fill for Dallas. We a linebacker team, so we can't act like we don't need to fill that spot.
Right.
I would be mad if they went linebacker, but my point is this: the slots that they don't fill they're going to fill in free agency because like
free agency.
We get May in free agency, like we luck up.
Mm-hmm.
Then you're like, okay, safety solidified. Let's go get. You'll know where we're going in the draft. That's why I can't wait for the next week to start the dominoes to start falling.
Right.
Because give you a real idea, like okay, they went like you seen what I said earlier, Nick. So I was like, ooh, Levante David, what's good? Because I was thinking, I was like, if they win when I made that video like a month ago, I was like, or a month and a half ago, if they win the chip, people get real satisfied when they win the chip and they want to go get their money. So I was like, if we can bring in a veteran presence, maybe Gerald McCoy put in a call.
Listen, I'll tell you right now, I like linebacker who's not popular as much, but Chad Surratt, if I'm saying his name, from North Carolina. He played quarterback at first. Then he moved to linebacker, and he's a great athlete. 6'4", 230, 240 around there, big guy. Listen, there's a lot of guys you can get. Is that everybody is just in love with the first round and that's it? No, look at this. There's other guys you can get. And here's another
what about Dylan
Willie McClay?
How do y'all feel about Dylan Moses?
God, Willie McClay.
Dylan Moses from Alabama.
He going late. I think he's going first.
Think you'll go in the first? I don't think
he's going late first.
Like Smith part 2 though.
Yeah, I do like Jabril Cox from LSU as well.
Yes,
I do like Jabril.
Dylan Moses. Moses is like Jalen Smith again. And look, if I'll take it. Early Jalen Smith, I'm excited.
Right.
If it's recent Jalen Smith, I'm gonna lose it. So
I have a question for you guys though, and honestly speaking, so we know that the free agency there's going to be a lot of dominoes falling in place, but don't you think that before we go after anybody in the free agency that we need to clear up Dak? Like, there's a rumor that Dak is going to be taken care of by Tuesday. I don't know if you guys saw that.
Yeah.
I believe he is. And when he listen, I'm going to keep it real like this. I'm going to be so honest. I have never celebrated another man getting money in his pocket like this. But I'm going to tell you this right now. I'm going to tell all Cowboy Nation next Tuesday.
Oh no!
If we go live,
if we get a deal,
I'm gonna go buck wild.
I'm with you. Nick, we said it. If that gets signed, we're doing a 6-hour show.
I don't care.
Like we did.
Listen.
Nick,
listen.
Jack, if we find Dak, gentleman's Jack on deck.
Oh, listen. I'm coming here wearing a blazer. I'm wearing a blazer, having a bottle of champagne live. And here's another thing.
Let me get to this question, guys. Gentleman Jack on deck for sure for that show, no doubt. Who will be gone first, LV or Jalen? Well, neither one's going to be gone first this year.
Jalen LV.
If we're projecting,
LV.
if we're projecting after this season, I don't know, man. I think Jalen's on the chopping block. What you got the 5th-year option, LV.
If he don't go 16, it's a wrap.
17. Remember, play 17 games this year.
If he, I'm just saying he gotta stay healthy.
Yeah. I mean, gun to the head, LVE. He's got to show me he's going to stay healthy. I think Jalen, and they're actually going to officially move him to that Sam linebacker. I think he's going to play better football. I'm not as off on Jalen. Look, I don't like all the swiping and everything, and everyone's frustrated with him. I'm not all the way out on Jalen like a lot of people are. I think a full offseason actually at Frisco, getting the right training, being put in the right positions, I think we'll see a lot closer to 2018 Jalen than what we saw in 2020. So I'm not all the way out on Jalen. LV's got a lot more to prove, I think, from the health standpoint. So neither's gone this year, for sure. They're both going to be on the roster this year. Moving forward, if it's going to be one or the other, gun to the head, I'm going to go LVE.
Yeah, but let's keep it realistic. They're both on the chopping block.
Not this year. Not this year,
but I mean, they both have something to prove this season.
I mean, football's a meritocracy. It's year to year.
I think LVE can be kept cheap. I think LVE will get a contract with a lot of languages that if he doesn't play a full season, I think he will be cheap, just like Jalen Smith. And
the lunatic says Smith's going to be celebrating deck and then cursing as soon as Xavier Woods gets signed.
Listen, don't do that. Come on, Lou. Come on, man.
He got to go.
Yeah.
Who? He ain't going nowhere. We know he ain't going nowhere though.
A lunatic. That was
I can get rid of both Woods. I don't need Antoine Woods to come back neither.
There you go.
He's going to be. I mean, I don't know. I like Woods in the rotation. The defensive tackle Woods, that is, and he's not going to cost a lot of money. We know that's Steven. Of course, Xavier Woods probably not going to cost a lot of money either. So that's going to speak to Steven as well.
Listen, Quinn. Listen, I hope that Quinn is playing the tape of last year and saying, "Wait a minute, I coached the Legion of Boom, and I know that if this guy was on my team, then he would have said what he said at Dallas." His locker room would have been in the parking lot. No, get your ass in the parking lot, get dressed. You're not getting changed with us in here. I doubt he's here. If he's here, I'm gonna lose my mind.
He might look at the tape and say, I can fix him.
No. You can't fix that.
You can't fix that 70%?
Nah, you can't fix that.
Come on, man. Give the guy some credit, man.
Nah.
Yeah. Norton is
one DB I want back. This is why I don't know if they're gonna go corner, because I really do.
Right.
Like, we got our number one in Diggs, and they're going to just re-sign Cheeto.
DDD, my man. Bring back Cheeto.
Cheeto's going to be.
I'm all about it.
Now, would you take a corner later to plug in like a slot or something like that? Mm-hmm. Okay, I can see that, but I don't think they're going to go corner that high, because I think they like, okay, Trayvon Diggs is coming on in second year. You get Cheeto. And I know that's not world-beating corners. And maybe they sign a veteran, like you said.
Yeah.
But I think
Bring Sherman over.
I don't know. They talking like $19 million for Sherman. I don't know if Steven's going to want to do that.
Who's 19?
Talking about Sherman might be getting that $9 to $10 million.
Nah.
Oh wow!
I give him 6.
Right.
Oh, Richard Sherman?
Yeah, Richard Sherman.
Yeah.
Hey, look. We definitely need to do one set. Another question here from Lunatic says, who will have the better second season, Bradley and I or Reggie Robinson the third? I'm going to go with Bradley and I because I think he's going to get more opportunities. That's another thing about the other thing about Reggie Robinson when it comes to this quarterback we were just talking about. It's a great filler question here is I think they're going to look at this and I think they're going to say, hey, I think Reggie, you're going to be a corner. And I think that's another reason we're going to start seeing these cornerback numbers start stacking up, and they're going to be looking at, do we really need to take a corner at 10? Or, what's really going to be the move here? And then we got to start talking about, and the guy that we haven't talked about tonight at all is, Micah Parsons. Is all of a sudden Micah Parsons the guy at 10.
Right.
They better not.
It's like this. When it comes to the draft is like the streets. It's a lot of dirty stuff going on. Like, for instance, Pat Mahomes they were saying that he was scheduled to go in the third round. They kept him very quiet. They hyped up Mitch Trubisky. This is where the Bears came out and gave out ransom to the 49ers for Mitch Trubisky. And we see how that turned out.
What does that got to do with this question or Micah Parsons?
No, I'm explaining to you right now. So here's the deal. Pat Mahomes was slated to go in the third round. All of a sudden on draft time, the number 10 overall pick 5 teams were trying to trade up to get Pat Mahomes. Michael Parsons right now is getting a lot of dirty stuff, behind the scenes. X, Y, and Z, what he did, stuff like that. But reality, he's still a good player. And
Mahomes ain't have bad rumors going around about him. Like Parsons got
exactly.
But that's the taste. What if the rumors are put out there for him to drop to a good team where he want to go? And listen,
it doesn't matter. Jerry, Dallas always picks up all these trouble players anyways.
That's fine. They're the best ones.
You think he put that out?
They're the best ones. I'll take them.
If Parsons can go top 10, he's not going to put stories out so he can lose $8 million.
No, I mean, you can go read up the civil suit and different things.
Yeah.
That story got to
I read it, went through it. It is what it is. Here's the thing: these teams that do their research. I think if there was more to it, I think we would hear more about it. Yeah. I honestly do. And if there was more to it, I think there's no way on God's green earth he would go in the first round. And I think it might be a little bit much to do about nothing. I don't really think it's going to cost him any spaces because of what we're talking about with these quarterbacks and what's going on. Who needs a linebacker in the top 10 over what they're bringing to the table with offensive tackle, wide receiver, tight end, quarterback? Mm-hmm. And you got to start thinking maybe around 7, 8, maybe around 8, 9, 10 is where you might see Parsons needs to be at. Again, if that was no one's really moved off of Parsons being like, okay, well, he's just off our board. You haven't heard that kind of talk. And most people that are rating these players in their top 5s and everything at positions, Parsons is like number 1, number 2 still. So I think, Parsons, again, I think Parsons is definitely a guy that's in play at 10 for us.
And I wouldn't be mad about it. Would not be mad about it. He's an animal.
Who's the best? Correct.
Okay. But anyway, me and you said Ane, Spoonie, Ane, or Robinson, who's going to have the better second year?
Ane, listen, I like what Randy Gregory said the other day. The question was, can Brownie and Ane be another Donovan Wilson, given opportunity? And Gregory came out and said the boy can play. The boy is serious. And
Mark, I'm not hating on Grant. I think Grant has great tape. I just don't think he's a true center field free safety. That's all I'm saying. I like the kid. I'm just saying he's kind of what Donovan Wilson is. Do we want 2 Donovan Wilsons? That's fine. I'm not saying that Grant is terrible. Let me be clear, because I know I'll get off this show and all of a sudden my Twitter's going to, Nick says Grant's trash. No, I am not. Let me be clear. I think Grant is a great player. I think he's a great prospect, I should say. Yeah. Is he what the Cowboys need as a true center fielder in this cover 3 scheme of what Dan Quinn is? Do you think that Richie Grant is Earl Thomas? Does he play the same style of ball? And that's the only thing I'm at. Hey, if Grant comes here, I'm not in the second round. I'm not going to be mad at the pick. I'm just saying, hey, is he Andre Washington and what he is as that center fielder? I don't think so. That's all I'm saying. Jeez, Mark's going to kill me forever on that now, guys. He is going to kill me forever.
Listen, BJ. Hopefully we don't need. Hopefully we don't need to draft Grant if we get us a real true safety, either May, Marcus Williams, or Simmons in free agency. Hopefully,
not getting
like that. Oh man, Rome, we get Simmons. My God.
Moving the chain says Parsons.
He a Ty France client.
Who is
down?
Who's Ty France client? Simmons. That's right. Yeah. Moving the chase says Parsons is going to make Johnny Football look like a choir boy. He's a wow.
Hey, listen.
Really?
Wow.
She knows something we don't.
Maybe so. I don't know. I don't know.
You got to be.
She must have spoke.
You put the star on the wrong people. They be tripping.
Yeah.
Can't put the star on anybody. Some people, them lights start hitting you,
Yeah, that's what I always say, man. Not everybody can play here, man. They're not built to play here. It's a little bit differently. Got a question from Parker. Says, what about Earl Thomas? Maybe he would be cheap. I think that's a Dan Quinn kind of situation. I think the Cowboys are completely out on him. We saw what happened last year. But Dan Quinn's in the building. Maybe Dan Quinn talks him into it and he wants to bring him in here. That would be the only way I see is Dan Quinn signs off and says, hey, go get my guy. But I think it's one underneath the bridge personally. I don't think he's going to be here. Rome?
Do you think Earl Thomas got anything in the tank? Is the thing.
Well, there's that too. Yeah, that's a whole nother set of issues.
Dicks, we get all hype and then it's like he ain't even worth it. Just kind
of so he can go here and get his Delterio Poe on.
Oh man.
Earl Thomas cheap. Y'all buyers, Earl Thomas cheap guys. Or is that ship sailed? Anybody?
If he can play a little bit, yeah, because his position, fortunately, as a safety, you can use a step and still play if you're smart. You know what I'm saying? So, okay.
Right. And what about you, Spoony?
I say yes, but if we do that, make sure you draft a safety in the draft. It's okay for I like older veterans.
Bridge gap.
Yeah, older
Bridge
veterans. Who?
Bridge gap guy.
Yeah,
right.
yeah, bridge gap guy. You know, listen. Sometimes it's always good to have a veteran guy to help these guys with a new system. So I'm on board with it. And attitude. Another thing, attitude. You need some of that.
Another
Real quick.
third,
Go ahead.
I think Cisco will fall to the third.
I like Cisco, man. I know he's a little bit of boomer bust, and people talk about the Sips a little bit. I like Cisco. I think Cisco could be heading the third, honestly. I think there's a chance.
We might grab him in the third.
I would like to. I wouldn't be mad at Cisco at all from University of Syracuse.
13 interceptions in 3 years, 2 to 3 years. Hell yeah! Listen, he broke his leg last year, but like I said, he's still one of the top guys.
You get with Earl Thomas, you get Cisco in the third.
Yes.
Now we agrees.
Mm-hmm.
I'm with you guys. I believe that we should bring Earl Thomas. Will be a good filler. Yeah, but definitely draft and then have him work with the younger guys, man.
Right. We got another question here. Is Allen or bust at one tech? I mean, you don't have to be, right? You don't have to be. I mean, you got a guy Shelvin over there at LSU, big boy. You know, I mean, maybe you do something to get Barrymore or something like that. I don't think it's bust at the one tech. But I mean, it would be, sure, I would love to get him at the one tech. What do you think, Spoony? Is it Allen or bust for the one tech, Mr. McNeil?
No, I don't think so.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think so. I think he's gonna be solid.
Okay, Sid.
Yeah, I believe he'll be solid as well. I haven't watched much on him, but I definitely, from what I've seen, yeah.
Okay, and then let me grab on here. Ron checking in. What's going on, Ron? I definitely leading the pitch train right along with me. Says, how do you feel about bringing Pat Pete in a free safety? I would love the move, and he's already said that he's willing to play. He's already said that he's willing to play free safety. So yeah, again, we'll start talking about money and stuff like that. But I'd be on board for Patrick Peterson at free safety, very much more so than Earl Thomas, in my opinion. Spoony.
Well, here's the thing. We have the secondary coach who coached in Green Bay, and Charles Woodson made the transition from corner to safety, and look how that turned out. So we have the same situation in Dallas. If Peterson comes in here, I think he could play safety. And again, if you get a veteran guy like Patrick Peterson to play safety, still draft your young safety NFL draft. Good bridge.
Yeah. What about you, Sid? Patrick Peterson for safety?
Nah, not in my opinion. I don't see it. I'd rather go for like Earl Thomas or.
Okay. Rome.
I think I would take him, but I really feel like, how like there's always that team that look like they might load up. I think JJ Watt might have started a little snowball effect. I think Peterson will go back to Arizona for a cheaper deal before he come to us.
Maybe.
You think?
The word is they're just kind of done. It's kind of mutual, but you might be right. That's kind of the word. Like, he was going to move on, but I mean, he could. Maybe something happens now that Watt's there. Maybe he does go back. I mean, there's an opportunity. The thing that would intrigue me about getting Peterson here is I think he can make the transition back to and piggybacking off of what Spoon said about what they did with Charles Woodson in Green Bay. Mm-hmm. And the other thing that he's able to do with Patrick Peterson is, y'all got that tight end that wants to be in the suck? We got the tight end killer in Patrick Peterson. Yeah, is he top end speed still with some of these number one wide receivers that are out here that he can go cover? No. But can Patrick Peterson go cover your best tight end? I absolutely unequivocally believe Patrick Peterson has got that in the tank. So I would be very excited. Do you still got to go draft the guy? You still got to go draft the guy, but you're able to add a guy and you're covering yourself a little bit. This sounds like a Cowboys signing. Why? Well, yeah, we're going to get him here free safety, but you know what? If we need a corner, I can go put him over at corner. Do I really need to take a corner at 10 now? Now, all of a sudden, it gets a little mixed up, and he can kind of do a little bit of things for you, and he's a guy that you can sign that basically kind of, do I want to spend money on two guys? Or I can spend money on one guy and let the draft fall to me and see what I need to do with him. So I think this is
if you put it that way, Nick, I'm on that train.
Yeah, I think that's a kind of the kind of signing that I could see Steven want to go do, where he might spend a little extra money because he's covering his bases with one stone, and then you can let the draft do. So if it's still cornerback at 10, cool. Our safety's there. Well, if the safety comes to us like we want, Richie Grant, sir. If we get Richie Grant in the second round, okay, I'm officially on the Richie Grant train. All right, well, Patrick Peterson, man, we're going to slide you back over here to the corner. I think we'll be just fine, and we know he can press. Like, we know the thing about Patrick Peterson. He'll get his hands on you. He'll press you. So he's a scheme fit kind of guy. So, yeah, Patrick Peterson would for sure. And he's that. I'm not going to be top dollar. I'm that veteran. I mean, again, it checks all the boxes for me when I think about Stephen Jones and what he does in free agency. So I could definitely see it. And my girl moving the chains is off the chain, by the way. She said, let's get ET, Parsons, Antonio Brown, Manziel. Just blow this thing up.
No doubt.
Easy.
She's ready. She's ready for that championship run, man.
That's all right, though. She does like Pat Pete, though. Mm-hmm. She does like Pat Pete.
I'm scared to get hype about it because we don't ever make no.
Oh yeah, but I'm not trying to do that. Do you think Mike McCarthy will go the opposite spectrum and challenge more close calls? I have no clue. Analytics, sir. That's all we know about Mike McCarthy is analytics.
Listen, the only thing I don't want from Mike McCarthy this year is don't do no stupid fourth down calls again. That's because I'll find Dallas.
Analysts is going to decide that. Man, we already went over 20 minutes, guys. I ain't going to keep y'all here all night. We got people shooting up the comments, man. I hate to cut it off on y'all. We got a good interaction going right now. But let y'all pay some bills real quick. Ron, tell people where they can find you, man.
Hey, man, it's your boy, Mr. Ron, Cowboys Fan Talk. You can find me on Twitter at Cowboys_Fan Talk and IG Cowboys Fan Talk. Same thing is on YouTube. Hey, man, I appreciate y'all bringing me on the impromptu invite.
Yeah, you jumped in and said, man, my boy's been training. Let me get him in here.
Hey,
He's
man.
been training. You got to get him in here.
Back every day until something happens.
Man, big facts. Sid, tell the people where they can find you, brother.
Yeah, man, thanks for having me on, guys. Sorry about the clarity to the camera. I'm actually stuck in a hotel right now because I went and traveled and the government threw me in a hotel for 3 days. So that's where I'm at right now, quarantining. But you could definitely find me on Dallas Cowboys, the number 4 Life. And also check me out on Twitter, SidDC for Life. And also Instagram, SidDC for Life. Guys, go sub up to all these guys' channels because they do this for the love of the Cowboys. We do this for fun, man. This is what we do. Definitely check me out, man. Thanks for having me on. Always.
Yeah, for sure. Spoonie.
Oh, you can find me at Twitter at Spoonie881 and at home, Star Game Podcast.
Yeah, absolutely. Man, as it says at the bottom of the screen right there, man, find me on Twitter or Instagram. I'm slow on Instagram, though, man. I don't know. That's for them young folks. I don't know if I can mess with IG like that. Keep the buck. I might get myself in trouble over there. Anyways, but your _guy_Knicks. Always Stargame is the group. Hey, we got the Stargame page as well on Facebook. Make sure you go like and follow the page. And if you're on Facebook, man, shoot over to YouTube, man. Stargame Podcast is the channel. Man, hit the like, hit the sub, man, hit the notification bell. Man, and next week, man, is the time for Dak, man. We're going to be back here talking, doing. Never know when we're going to pop up again. I mean, hey, we might hop off and all of a sudden we see doom. Oh, what's this? And Dak's son. Who knows? Anything's possible, right? Anything. Oh man, Night Creeper. Anything can happen, right, man? But we appreciate y'all rocking with us. Man, we had a fun time. I hate to get out of here. And no, we're not doing 7 hours just because you're working overnight, Josh, to keep you entertained. We are getting out of here. Appreciate y'all guys. Peace.